What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Whiskey Shed. My name is John McGrath and this is my YouTube channel where I, as a whiskey novice, take a sojourn through the world of whiskey and share that journey with you guys. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about a glass. Not so much about whiskey, it's going to be about a whiskey glass, the new Túath glass or the Irish whiskey glass. Exciting times indeed, so let's jump in and have a look. Now, I mentioned this glass in passing in a previous video when I did an opinion on the Jameson Black Bar, but I thought it needs its own little video. So to put the glass in some sort of context why it came about, Irish whiskey at the minute is experiencing an absolute resurgence, so it's an absolutely fantastic time to be a whiskey fan, especially a fan of Irish whiskey. Distilleries are opening up all over the island and it's a real boom time for Irish whiskey, and we're definitely heading towards, I think, a golden age of Irish whiskey, which is absolutely fantastic. And it's great to see Irish whiskey back on the world stage where it absolutely belongs, because we make, and I'm completely biased in this, we do make some of the best whiskey on the planet, and like I say, it's great to see it back and at its absolute best, and all these new distilleries opening up, making unique blends of Irish whiskey and unique varieties of Irish whiskey, and like I say, it's absolutely fantastic. So we definitely needed our own glass, and an Irish whiskey glass company has come along and produced this glass, the Túath glass. Now, the word Túath, as I explained in a previous video, comes from the Irish word for family or nation, so you can think your tribe, your clan, your people, that kind of thing. And the most famous use of it was in the Túath de Danann, the original Irish people, or where the Irish people were supposedly came from, the original settlers of Ireland, which were the people of the goddess Dana, a supernatural race of people which kind of the Irish people are supposedly descended from. So what a great name to name the glass, and anybody that uses it kind of becomes a part of the family of Irish whiskey. So the Túath of Irish whiskey, Túath of Ishkabaha, the Irish word for whiskey. So it's absolutely fantastic. Now let's look at the glass itself. Now, the glass itself is that recognizable tulip shape that you would see on nosing and tasting glasses, but the bowl is slightly larger. So they say they did that to represent the generosity of the Irish spirit, but you can fit more whiskey in it. And yeah, you can fit more whiskey in it. What more do you need to say about that? The top has a flared lip on it, so what that's for, so they say, or so I've read, is to let the alcohol evaporate away from the nose so it doesn't punch you in the nose when you're tasting and nosing your whiskey. Now, the little party piece to this glass is its base. So it has a stem, so you can keep your hands off the glass. So when you're looking at the colour of the whiskey and all that good stuff and appreciating your whiskey, you can hold it here. It has a triangular shaped base, which they say they got the inspiration from this from the island Skellig Michael, that's off the coast of Kerry. Now, the Skellig Michael, or the Skellig Islands, were made famous in the new Star Wars film. If you saw those islands, it's where Luke Skywalker basically was. And yeah, it's a very famous island off the coast of Kerry, and it has that kind of triangular shape. Now, the triangular shape itself is a bit of a party piece. It's the kind of trick of the glass. And let's get some whiskey in it and we'll show you this in operation. Okay, so now that we have some whiskey in the glass, you can see how this base comes into effect. So it has this kind of chamfered area, this triangle area, which is chamfered both sides and in the front. So you can hold it with a thumb grip just like this, and you can hold your whiskey up to the light and really look like you know what you're doing. So I can look like an absolute whiskey professional now when I hold my Túath glass, and I have no clue what I'm actually doing, but yeah, it's nice and comfortable to hold in hand. It's especially comfortable to wrap your finger around the curved part and hold it with your thumb here, so you can get a nice grip on the glass, really swirl your whiskey and get your nose in there, and the flare top, like I said, allows that alcohol vapor to evaporate away, and it really does concentrate the aroma of the whiskey. I used to use my water crystal tumbler, which I really love to drink my whiskey from, but I have to say, when you're testing and tasting whiskey, this is great. And the nice thing about this big bowl is you get a nice bit of whiskey in it, and it is comfortable to drink from. So some of the tasting glasses that I've tried, you're looking up in the sky every time you want to take a sup of your whiskey, but with the Túath glass, you can comfortably look straight on and keep an eye on your prize and drink your whiskey. So that's very, very important. You don't look like a complete tool looking up in the sky every time you want to take a sup out of your whiskey glass. Now, they say having a stem on a whiskey glass stops your hand from warming up the whiskey. Warming up the whiskey does change how it tastes if your palate is sensitive enough to detect that taste. But if you're holding a whiskey in your glass long enough to warm it up by your hand, you're probably not drinking it right. So not too much of an issue for me. So now we also have this triangular shape with these two straight sides, and that's the other party piece of the Túath glass. You can leave it lie straight down like that, and that, what they say, it opens up the whiskey, so you have a greater surface area of the whiskey now exposed to the air inside the glass. So you can really let it breathe and let that whiskey change if you so choose. When you're resting your whiskey, you can rest it coolly on its side. That's a pretty nice little touch in my book. So there we go, guys. That is the Túath, the Irish whiskey glass. Now, I should just let you know I'm not sponsored and this is not paid for. I bought these with my own money, so they cost me €9.50 each, so €9.50. They are a little bit more expensive in the States. I think they're about $15 to $17. I think, check the prices wherever you are, but they are available worldwide now. So if you want to become part of the Túath and enjoy your Irish whiskey, or even all your whiskey from your Túath glass, and walk around like you really know what you're doing. And yeah, it's a really nice glass. I really like it, and I really like the fact that you can actually drink your whiskey from it. It's not just for nosing and tasting. You can comfortably drink your whiskey from the glass, which is really, really nice. And as guys from my woodworking channel will let you know, if something is rubbish, I will tell you it's rubbish. I have no qualms about saying something is ridiculous when it's ridiculous, but this isn't. This is really, really nice. I am a little bit biased, I will admit. I am Irish, and I'm delighted to see an Irish whiskey glass and Irish whiskey doing so well. So I'm going to leave you now, guys. I'm going to get out of here, and a simple one-word toast. Sláinte. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take it easy. Nice and easy to drink from. You can look straight ahead. You can walk around swirling your glass like you're a professional. What more do you want?